I love that this curriculum normalizes the full range of human emotion while also giving kids the tools to figure out healthy ways of expressing those emotions and interacting with each other as they go through these different emotions. Hi everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, a doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids ages 12, 9, and 7. In today's video, we are doing another Evan-Moor review. I am an affiliate for Evan-Moor and very proud to be so because I think they create great workbooks for all of us, whether we are homeschooling or just incorporating a little additional learning at home to top off our school day. One of the things I like best about Evan-Moor workbooks is that they are very methodical in their approach and they go through skills in a very orderly fashion. Some Evan-Moor workbooks are cumulative in review and others introduce new ideas every single time. So you have both mastery and spiral workbooks, and you really just need to explore what works best for your children and you in your learning environment. In today's video in particular, we are going to be discussing their new social-emotional workbooks, which right now are only available as ebooks. So I'm going to be showing you them on my computer screen. So hopefully this screen sharing will work and we'll go through them together. This video will be about grades 3 and 4, and the next video I do will be about higher grades 5 and 6. Okay, you guys, hopefully this works. So we've got here Social and Emotional Learning Activities by Evan-Moor. When you buy the ebook, you will see it as a PDF like this. You can print it out if you care to do so, or you can just use it on a tablet or on your computer screen, etc. We will probably download these onto everybody's tablets and use it that way. So as you can tell, it's about 118 pages. That includes the answer key. But a lot of these activities don't actually have an answer key because they are designed to be an open discussion format. Evan-Moor definitely approaches the social and emotional learning activities with a view towards not condemning any particular feeling. So we're not trying to make children feel like being angry is bad or being sad is bad, but rather that feelings come and go and they will come again. And how we interact with each other as we have these feelings and how we treat ourselves internally is very, very important as we grow. So the entire book has 9 units and it's split between different types of topic areas like empathy, cultural sensitivity, creativity, gratitude, self-care, mindfulness, self-talk, curiosity, open-mindedness, and critical thinking skills. Now, the skills are separated out into these units, but you do not have to do this book in order. So, for example, if you are reading a novel or a read aloud, and it involves something about self-management or self-awareness or social awareness or relationship skills, you can pick and choose from this activity book activities that might best relate to what you're already doing in other learning subjects. Or you can progress through this book in order. It's really up to you. So, like I said, you have 9 units of these SEL activities, and you have different scenarios that are presented in some of these activities so that the children themselves can go through the steps of problem solving what might be a socially appropriate and emotionally healthy way of dealing with some of these situations. There's also opinion justification here where you can have your opinion, but you do have to go through the thought process of why you think one way or another. Critical thinking, there's visual information like pictures, art projects, games, mazes, puzzles. So a very engaging book. If you are a classroom teacher, you can reproduce these in your classroom. So if you have many students in your homeschool room, you can do the same thing. Here you have the first unit, which is self-awareness. So it gives you a paragraph as the teacher to read aloud. Self-awareness is knowing your own feelings and thoughts and knowing yourself, etc. You can think about how your feelings affect what you do and say. Self-awareness is really about trying to know and understand yourself. So you have a little introduction speech for the children so they know how to interact with this vocabulary. It goes through the different topics that are covered in this self-awareness unit, which range from character and emotions and mindfulness to gratitude and values and empathy, worrying. I know a lot of kids at this age definitely are starting to feel their worries. There was a great book that I read once where it described worries for children as something like a tomato that you can throw off a cliff. And I remember my daughter really responded to that visual analogy of like taking your worry, a tomato, and throwing it off a cliff and letting it fall. Here you have an example of a writing activity. So you have my traits. It explains the word character and that vocab, what they're talking about when we talk about character. And then it goes through different types of character traits and asks the child to pick 4 of them and write or draw about a time that they themselves showed that trait. Then there's a what I like about me page. So why it's important to show others that we appreciate them. And it gives you different ways to appreciate yourself. I really appreciate activities like this because I think it's so important to teach our children to be their own best friend. And so you have one thing I really like about my personality is I know I'm a good friend because I am most proud of myself when, and I am helpful when. Here's a thankful page discussing gratitude. So different people you're grateful for, different things. Values. So what do you value and how much do you value it on a sliding scale? Like the time you spend with your family, the time you spend with your friends, your pets, etc. And here's an opinion page where it goes through different things and says, is it okay to lie in order to avoid hurting someone's feelings? So there's no right or wrong answer here. It's really about the student going through and thinking about these things and discussing it openly without fear of censure so that they can talk through these ideas. Like, what are other people's opinions on this? That might affect their own as well. Would I feel angry? Here you have a different color scale. So red is very angry, orange is a little bit, green is not angry at all. Particularly when children are smaller, having like visual cues like this is very, very helpful. I used to have a stack of happy faces and sad faces, and mad faces and everything in between, so that sometimes if they couldn't find their words, if they couldn't figure out a way to articulate what they were feeling, they at least had a card to show me to say like, this is what's happening right now. And sometimes they would smack it down really angrily. And so of course you could tell what they're feeling without the card, but it gives them a way to communicate it with you and to have it be in a way that doesn't shame them for it. You know, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be embarrassed. Like, own the feeling and then we'll work with it. So I really like curricula like this, if only because it gives children a safe space to talk about these topics, to explore these topics, to think about feelings and delve into why might I be feeling this way? And do other people feel this way? And I'm not so alone in this. And there will be another side to this. I won't always be sitting in this negative feeling. And I probably won't always be sitting in a positive feeling either. That it is a moving spectrum and part of the human experience. So I love that this curriculum normalizes the full range of human emotion while also giving kids the tools to figure out healthy ways of expressing those emotions and interacting with each other as they go through these different emotions. So sometimes you yourself are the one feeling angry, but sometimes your friend is angry and you might need to figure out a way of handling that, you know, in a way that doesn't break a friendship, that doesn't hurt the other person's feelings, but that also doesn't leave you feeling trodden upon. So it might seem trite to do social emotional learning activities, but honestly, I think that it reminds us that these things aren't that obvious. And honestly, I wish I had had more of this instruction growing up because it would have made me feel much safer knowing that this is the human experience, that lots of other people feel small and petty and sad and angry and also happy and overjoyed and proud of themselves, and all of those things are okay. Do I worry? So different things where they can agree and disagree about scenarios where they might worry or not worry. Writing a paragraph to explain about what they worry about and why. I like that it incorporates small little writing activities. Those are nice little bite-sized moments where you can practice, you know, regular old grammar things, punctuation, expressing ideas. Here you have how many empathy bars do I have, and it presents different scenarios. And you just have to figure out how much you understand that character's feelings. 1, you don't understand at all. And 5, you very much relate. Curiosity. Here is a marshmallow word cloud, so a little bit more of an interactive craft-like activity where you can pick marshmallows and make out words with them. I imagine a lot of these marshmallows will be eaten. So that was one entire unit on self-awareness. Now here you have self-management, coping, goals, grit, self-care, responsibility, self-kindness, feedback, mindfulness. And I'm just going to scroll a little bit faster because I think you get an idea of the different types of activities that are here. You have some drawing activities, you have Venn diagrams, you have more scenarios where they can come up with appropriate responses, how someone could react to a situation, what could happen after. Here's a coping toolbox. So this idea that we want to build skills is a very healthy skill. It's not something we're just born with. It's not something you just have to know how to do. It's something that we really do work on and that we can improve on. It's very much about a growth mindset here. So you have helpful or harmful feelings, a self-care check, 3 things that you wish you could do more of or that you could start doing. If you'll notice, a lot of these questions are things that you find in adult planners. These are questions that I think the earlier we address them, the more emotionally kind we are to ourselves and to others, because these are important questions. Having empathy and drawing faces to express that type of empathy. Everyone sees things differently, so different perspectives in the same scenario. Social cues, feelings and greetings, body language, crossword right there, responsibility survey, like, is this your responsibility? Is it not? I'm going to scroll forward so that you can see that towards the end of the book, you start having different types of social emotional learning activities tied to one specific academic area. So here you have SEL and writing. So one of the ways we can go through our emotions is by writing our feelings. So you can have, writing one thing that could be okay, one thing that could be not so great. And so you have more and more writing activities exploring different social emotional learning concepts that you've learned. Then you have SEL and reading. So we're talking about a lot of the same traits and feelings and ideas that we talked about before, like empathy and tact and conflict resolution. But here you have more reading activities. So again, you don't have to do this book entirely in order. You can pull out one reading activity a week. You can pull out one writing activity a week. You can shuffle them in a way that makes sense in your classroom. And then after the reading section, you have a math section. So some people like doing math, some people don't. It's okay to like it or not like it. No person is good at everything. This is a section that talks a lot about grit and getting through things. So you have math problems, but it goes through and it talks about, is your friend's answer correct? Why or why not? You're helping them with something. What are 3 things you know in math now that you didn't know last year? So it's exploring like their own growth with something like this, some symmetry, some puzzles, some money practice, etc. And then you have some social studies activities as well. So the Bill of Rights, what do all people have rights to, different people's different lives and how that Venn diagram intersects, how I feel, cooperating, a cultural poster. Is it respectful? And when we're talking about different cultures, this is a very important question. Foods that your family eats often, that introduces the idea that your family might not eat the same things as another family. You have a reading activity here about a different type of celebration at a different house than yours, or perhaps a different culture than yours. Around page 110, you have the answer key. And as I explained, not every page has an answer key because a lot of these are open-ended questions and activities. So I hope this was a helpful review for you guys. I hope that you could tell that the main point of a social emotional learning activity or curriculum is so that our students learn that it is okay to feel the full range of emotions, that there's no good feelings or bad feelings. They're just feelings, and they're feelings that most of us have at some point in our life. They will come and they will go. It is important, though, for us to realize how to treat ourselves gently and how to treat others respectfully as we navigate all of these feelings. So if nothing else, curricula like these allow our students to feel safe in expressing their feelings towards us and to others, and to explore how they can get better and more mature with handling these feelings as they grow up. As always, I think Evan-Moor hit it out of the park. I hope you enjoyed this review. Again, I am an affiliate for Evan-Moor, and all of my relevant links will be in the description box down below. I do appreciate it when you use my affiliate links. It helps, keep me motivated to keep making content for this channel, and it helps justify the time I spend in creating these videos. As always, you guys, I know your time is valuable too. Thank you so much for spending some of it with me, and I wish you the very best day.